Hey bridal shop owners, I'm going to talk about the 3 most important things that I want you to do in December to make sure that you are closing out your books before we get to 2025. So, first of all, schedule and perform a physical inventory. What the physical inventory does is that you are counting your inventory and making sure that that count matches what you have in BridalLive. So BridalLive actually has a physical inventory feature. A lot of people are not aware of this. This means that if you have scanners, you can go through and you can scan your inventory. It updates automatically. If you don't have scanners, you're entering those product numbers. So perform this physical inventory as close to 12/31 as possible. Make sure you get it on the calendars, get your team involved. The second thing that I want you to do is once you do that physical inventory, run your items on hand report, export that into Excel, take a look at it, and check for things like $0 values in your inventory count, because sometimes the data that you have in BridalLive is not correct. So if you have $0 values, if those values don't look right, you want to make sure that you're going into BridalLive and updating those values before 12/31, because when we go in and we run that items on hand report on 12/31, you want that items on hand report that's run on 12/31 to be correct. So you want to go in and you want to correct those values before 12/31. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess to go back and try to kind of retroactively fix that. The last thing that you want to do is make sure that your sales are completed. This is especially important if you are filing on an accrual basis, if your books are being adjusted in QuickBooks to your BridalLive reporting based on those completed sales. So one of the things to check for, this is just a little trick, is to check your pending sales. So you go into the transaction report and you put the transaction date for the current date and status pending. And then you go to the event date. If you have transactions with event dates in the past, you want to pay close attention to those. And you want to update those transactions that might be completing sales. It might be canceling those sales if they never happened. Maybe some of those are forfeit, but you go through each of those transactions and say, what happened with this sale? If you have some of those transactions in prior years or prior periods, talk to us if we're your accountant, or talk to your accountant, because you don't want to go into prior years or even prior sales tax filing periods and complete transactions, because those can affect past tax filing periods. So be very careful when you're doing this, but definitely if you're filing on an accrual basis especially, you want to make sure that you're completing the sales. This is just basic BridalLive hygiene. So those 3 things: do a physical inventory, check your cost values for those inventory items, complete your sales, and then finally on 12/31, if you're our client, we are running those reports for you. So you don't have to worry about it. We're running your reports on 12/31. Go out, party, do whatever you need to do. If you're not our client, you have to run those reports on 12/31. You need to have those because you can't go back and run them retroactively. Completing these steps now, the physical inventory, the cost review, and completing your sales, that is going to set you up for success when you're closing your books at year end. It's going to set your accountant up for success as well when they're trying to get your financials correct. So if this was helpful, comment below and reach out if you have any questions. Thanks everyone, and I will see you soon. BridalVision Financial helps bridal shops save time, make more money, and achieve profit goals through accounting and trusted advisory services. If you are ready to take your shop to the next level, leave a comment to start the conversation.